Hello everyone, this is Ron from High Tech Legion, and this is the new Kingston MobileLite Wireless device. Now we've seen a beta version of this one called either the MobileLite Wi-Fi device earlier in CES this year, but this is now the final version called the MobileLite Wireless. Essentially a very useful product for either that acts as a card reader and doubles as a backup battery and also as a Wi-Fi sharing device for multiple users. So let's just dig in and see what we can find inside the package. Just remove the protective covering here, and you can see that the MobileLite Wireless, just from the packaging, you can clearly see that it is a compact product. It is designed to be portable, so that is essential. Now, we've seen the Y drive about 2 years ago, and this is pretty much the next step, evolutionarily speaking, in terms of portable storage. There's that. So here we have container. Just remove that, make sure nothing's underneath there. You have the getting started or user's guide. It comes in multiple languages for convenient use. A USB charging cable with a micro USB connector on one end and a standard USB connector on the other end. You have a micro SD adapter in its own container, very convenient. And inside, wrapped in a bubble wrap, is the MobileLite Wireless unit itself. The MobileLite Wireless shares a lot of similarities with the Y Drive Plus MobileLite that was beta tested earlier this year, not just physically. They have the same dimensions, 124.8mm by 59.9mm by 16.65mm, but it is a shade darker, and I must say it looks a lot better, and just for my preference. And also it weighs very light at about 98 grams, a lot lighter than the Y drive because there is no internal storage. And also you get the power button there and a reset button just in case you need to reset it. And with also LED indicators there to indicate the functionality. As for connectivity, you also have, of course, the hardwired USB connector. You plug in the cable provided. It essentially works as a card reader mode, hence the MobileLite name. It can act also as a USB hub, plug in a USB device there, USB drive, and it can read that simultaneously as putting in an SD card on the other side. Now there's no more dedicated micro SD slot, but with the micro SD card adapter, you can easily read micro SD cards as well. Just pop that in and you can read both. Now, if you remove the cable, you can enable it by turning on and holding the power button for about 3 seconds, and it will enable the wireless mode. You can see the LED color is different there. There's a blue LED color to go with the green power, and we're just going to go through the power on sequence with the wireless mode here. You can see that it takes a little bit of time, and once the LED stops blinking, then you can go ahead with the wireless functionality. There you go. And now we are ready to test out the streaming. Alright, so here we have two devices, and of course download the MobileLite Wireless app from the App Store first or the Android Play Store and set your Wi-Fi network to connect to the MobileLite Wireless network. And once you have done that, make sure of course to connect and launch that program. You can see here, you can see the SD card contents. I have an SD card plugged in there, and it can read JPEGs immediately. See how fast it loads there on the phone, and you can even resize or kind of zoom in right there, and also share it from Facebook, Twitter, email, or directly to your camera roll. Also look at other materials there. You have, of course, there's no video in there. There's no season 4 of Game of Thrones yet, but you can check the videos. You can stream M4V files and MP4 files. You can both stream 1080p or 720p videos. I have a 720p video in there. My previous review of the Kingston Predator, and at the same time 2 more users can connect. So you can leave that playing, and you can also see there. Just of course, you can see an iOS device. You can see how fast it loads there at the top of the bar once that bar is filled out. But you can also seek your video and sort of zoom in there to the fast forward area. Let's try to load a 1080p video here. Of course, a lot more stressful, and you can see the MobileLite Wireless blinking rapidly there. Is reading it and also transmitting at the same time. You can see I can just slide this in to that part there, fast forward, and it will immediately start playing. And there is no problem streaming 1080p M4V file at all. This is actually a 5.1 audio, and just put that aside, leave that playing. And I have also an Android tablet here, although the Wi-Fi is kind of pretty horrible with this tablet. This is a TF201 tablet, known for its Wi-Fi issues. So let's see if it works here. Let's see, it's hard to read here because of the glare. But, let me just focus my camera here. Pretty much you can see that there is a directory. Sees the same directory as the iPhone does. But now, this one thing is that it tries to load all the photos in thumbnail mode. I would have preferred if it does it in list mode, because it takes a while, especially for a tablet. Some tablets that are not as powerful or kind of does not have as much memory. But you can see here that the video and the audios, the MP3s are all in list form, and several options there. You can also search, just in case you wanna type out and find a file you want specifically. So I'm gonna type here and let's look for the CES photos I took earlier this year. There we go. You can see photos. Found it. Folder, and you can just click that. These are very large photos, and so I took these with my camera, and these are about 5-6 megs each, and they're very, very high quality. So see, it takes a while to load that. It was still loading the previous videos. There we go. Let's see here. You can see that I am also playing back on the other side, and these were photos I took while I was in the Kingston suite. Visited them. You can see the file size there in the corner. And again, similar to the iOS app, you can zoom in and zoom out, and also you can share it. And let me just find other options here. You can delete or remove folder. You can check the video here. Obviously, there is giving me a warning that the default Android media player is rubbish, so it might not stream properly. In addition to the video capability of this tablet. But here we're back to the iOS device. Let me just show you the rest of the features here. Similarly, you can see that the photos are being loaded, all of it in thumbnail mode here. So it's going to take a while because it's going to parse all that video. Also, it detects, no matter how you arrange it on your folders, it detects all the songs on the drive, your MP3s and WAV files. Of course, it can't play back this copyrighted music because YouTube is going to block this video. So I'm just going to play back here the music we use for the intro and outro. Alright, so I've zoomed it in closer here because it's easier to see the menu. Now my tablet here, show you the layout. You have MobileLite Wireless, of course. Click on that, and it remembers the thumbnail and everything. Creates, remember the images I showed earlier. It finally finished building that directory, so it's easier to load next time. Although I'm surprised because there's no option to show it in list view. You can see here that the settings only has it only shows it as a thumbnail. For the options here, general settings shows you the layout of the battery, the level, but I noticed that it shows here that it's still in the yellow, although if you can see my MobileLite here, it's already in red. Actually, it's not in orange. Camera might look like it's red, but it's orange, but it's actually red. There is also the MobileLite Wireless name there. You can change it, the version. You can change the SSID being broadcasted just by clicking on it. And other options to go back here. Connection settings the visible. You can hide the I think I'm going to dim that thing a little bit so you can read the text, and the channel and security, because by default there is no security. You can turn it on, put a password, or just remove that. And also you have the network connection setting where you can set it to, so you can have a pass-through connection. You can see that since I am in suburbia, it's a pretty crowded Wi-Fi network there. And you can also manually add down at the bottom the SSID, so you can, just in case that network isn't broadcasting any information. And see the layout here. For videos, it's not thumbnail, it's list form, and for music it is also in list form. So you can play with that back. For the Android, you can see that let me just the volume here. I disabled the volume earlier. There you go. And keep on playing, so you can just hit that corner icon to stop it. The Kingston MobileLite Wireless has a battery backup charger mode, and to access it, just simply press the power button and hold it by about a second till you see the LED blink. The color designates the amount of charge left in there. Since it is green, means we have a full charge. So we take our phone and plug it into the USB port. The Kingston MobileLite Wireless you see here was the next logical step from the Y drive that was initially introduced several years ago. Now obviously the two have certain differences, a little bit bigger but not that much, and in terms of weight it is still lightweight, and the functionality is a lot more flexible because of the fact that you can expand not just via the SD card attachment or micro SD card. You could also use the USB port to add storage as a USB thumb drive, and especially with the availability of such large thumb drives such as the Kingston HyperX and HyperX Predator lines, which are goes up to 1 terabyte, 512 gigabytes, and that is of course in addition to the SD card functionality, which supports SDXC cards and exFAT file format for those who want to put in media files that are larger than 4 gigabytes in size. And in terms of functionality, the app was intuitive to use, very easy. There were some concerns of mine with the functionality because of the way it kind of everything else loads very snappily. It was very fast, especially the video. I was surprised how fast it loads. Plus you can seek, for example, a 1080p video I showed earlier. I dragged the time to the near the end and it loaded immediately, but when it came to photos it took a while to load, and I was trying to figure out why at first. That was because initially it will create essentially a thumbnail of all the photos inside that are stored in either your SD card or the thumb drive you have attached. And there is no sort of a list mode similar to the video and the document segment of the app there. The MP3s are all list form, the videos are all list form, but when it comes to images, it creates thumbnails. So that's the issue there. It takes a while it slows down the process because it has to create all of that thumbnail from, especially if you have high resolution photos, it's not going to be instant in terms of that. But once it does, it remembers it. Even if you're disconnected, you try to load the app, and it will load all the thumbnails in there, and before it even recognizes that there is no Y drive available in the network. But other than that, functionality is definitely there, and it is definitely close to 5 hours in terms of full functionality. I tried it with streaming 5 hours with one device, and I tried it with 2 devices, and almost the same 5-hour functionality. So that is very useful. Although for those who are traveling and during maybe those who are traveling all the way to Australia or doing cross-continental flights, 5 hours might be shorter for you, and I agree that I do wish that there is a larger capacity available, but 5 hours is decent. and it should provide you with two full-length movies or at least one Peter Jackson movie. And that's pretty much it. You can read the rest of the review at hightechlegion.com. Just click on the link below, or visit us at Facebook, facebook.com/HTLReviews. Leave questions or comments. Just tweet at us at twitter.com/hightechlegion. And this is Ron. Once again, thanks for watching. Signing out.